members of all learners, for fellow alumni. Can anyone hear me? I don't know, I think much has been said already. Much of the thank yous have been said. I'm actually just standing here representing the Alumni Society. I'm the current chairperson. And to be honest with you, I'm actually motivated more than anything to see the actual event and everyone who's come up today. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for coming. Thank you to the learners, to the parents, and obviously to our sponsors as well. Can we just give ourselves a big round of applause? I was asked to just come and give a bit of a background on what the Alumni Society is and how it started and what we actually aim to achieve and what our plans are. This is not new. We started this society informally last year in June, and we've done quite a few, one or two activities with the learners at Tsogo. So this is really just to formally introduce and launch the society, so to get more and more people involved. And it's so funny, the way the society started was just a group of about 5-6 people saying, I'll put in 400 Rand, I'll put in 200 Rand, I'll put in 50 Rand. And let's take all the collective money and send our grade 10 students to wherever, to go experience various careers. And we took them out to Sesso Tech, there was an exhibition. We took them out to Ernst & Young for those who wanted to be chartered accountants. And it just got off the ground from there, really. There's really not much to it, to be honest with you. But I think what's really important is obviously the fact that it has been started, and with everyone's efforts, we can actually take this to the next level and make it as big and as as successful as possible. But I mean, without dwelling on too much, I think really what's really important to highlight here is one of the basic thinking behind starting the society was really to come back and address really what we are seeing as former students. I mean, just to let you guys know, I matriculated Motokoka 1997. Then I went to Wits University, did my commerce degree, and did some other postgraduate courses. So now I stand here representing the society, just to tell everyone really, what we really want to do is just let the current learners at Tsogo that it is possible. You're not just, you shouldn't just think that it ends here. This is just the beginning. And we are here to just let you and show you that this is just the beginning. And I mean, you'll see as we go along precisely what the plan is, and I'll take you through some of the main points. But I think really what's important, I mean, there's a nice quote that I read once, which says, it is not lack of ability that limits us, but lack of opportunity. It is not lack of ability that limits us, but lack of opportunity. When I got to Wits University, for instance, I found that my white counterparts, for instance, already had big brothers who were lawyers and doctors and accountants and actuaries and investment professionals. And already they already knew and they already understood what the careers meant, and they already had someone to speak to in terms of just basic advice. When I started at Wits, I mean, it was a case of what do I study, what courses do I take, And because you don't have a big brother guiding you, you tend to get lost, you tend to either drop out or you tend to take long, because you don't have a proper guidance. So what we really wanted to do with this Alumni Society was to say, we are here as former students. Mr. Mawewe, I come to you. When I went through Mr. Mutata, I remember all those things, Concord and where you currently are. I mean, things are able to hold like Simons are going to the face of Moto 10. And today I live in Cape Town. The basic idea, without dwelling too much, was really to say we really want to address the acute shortage of skills in the country. I mean, every newspaper you pick up today, the first thing you hear about is that in South Africa there's a shortage of technicians, a shortage of engineers, a shortage of this, that, and the other. We're looking at 2010, for instance. Who's going to build those stadiums we want to build? Who's going to build the bridges and the roads and the transport infrastructure? We need you guys to come and be engineers. So by 2010, you're already in the industry and you're already making the money that you should be making. And that's why we started Alumni Society. And I think really, and the other really basic issue was to really take and give you guys a bit of an international exposure as well. To really say, as former students of Tsogo, we gotta have a broad idea. We gotta think globally, not just locally. We gotta think globally. And when I say globally, I mean the current deputy chairperson of Alumni Society is currently based in Lagos, in Nigeria, and we've got alumni sitting in Durban, in Cape Town, in Joburg, in New York, everywhere. And I still keep in touch with some of the guys. I keep in touch with some of the guys in London. So all we're trying to say to you guys is that it is possible. I see it was a TV fair, it is possible. You can do it, and we're here to show you that you can do it. And we're here to motivate and try to guide you guys in any possible way we can. And I think really, I think the key point is how do we plan to do all these things? I mean, it's nice for me to stand here and tell you, try to motivate you guys and throw out all these fancy things. But what's really important is for us to try to highlight, and I think this is what this event is really trying to show. That, last year, for instance, what we did was send a group of grade 11 and 12 students to Cecil Tech, which is sponsored by Cecil, a technology exhibition really. I think some of you here might have been on that trip. The second trip we did was to send a group of accounting students, current accounting students, to Ernst & Young, which is one of the big 4 chartered accountancy firms, just to really get them to spend a day with true chartered accountants, to see what chartered accountants do. For instance, I work in the financial markets. I'm a financial analyst. I work, every single time you turn on the TV, you hear people talking about the JSE went up and the Dow Jones went up, and people understand what's going on. That's what we do. And what we're really trying to show is you guys can be the ones making those decisions tomorrow, just as we are today, and then we're doing it being and coming from where you guys are today. And this is precisely, it's as simple as that. There are no complications. We're not trying to set the biggest movement on earth, but we're just trying to say we can come back and plow back into our society, the society that defined us, the society that made us to become who we are today. You guys, the parents especially, mama baby looking at them, so with the guidance and parents and your big brothers, we actually are your big brothers. We are your big brothers and sisters. So you don't need to have, your black brother holding an accountant or a lawyer before you should know what's going on. You can speak to us as the former students, and we'll try to guide you. And one of the main things is the first point of action is obviously our mentorship program. We are launching today as well as part of the program as mentorship program. Mentorship program is really to say, for instance, if I'm involved in career commerce and we've got a group of students wanting to go into commerce, and we help you make contact. I can try to help you out in terms of who to speak to, how to go about doing things, what courses to take, what courses to avoid. You get to university, you end up taking a course you'll never use. And you need someone who's been through little things like that to guide you and tell you, do this, do that, the other. That's what the mentorship program really is. The second thing we'll continue doing is obviously the site visits. We'll continue looking for sponsorship and obviously putting in our own money where we can and sending groups of students across to various fields. We plan to also send students to the accounting field again later on, expose students to the healthcare professionals. As everyone would know, we have a shortage of doctors, of nurses. We need more. The country needs more doctors and nurses. And the only way you guys would know this is from people who are already involved in the industry. And I think one of the main things also that we're actually launching today, which we're going to give with some of the students, is our career booklet. And what this booklet is really, it just gives you like a few interviews with some of the former students, and it gives you a bit of guidance, like study tips and how to apply for bursaries, addresses for bursary, for contact details for bursaries, addresses for universities, little things like that. I think, there's a very lovely saying in the world that goes, small things make a big difference. And it's so funny, and that's a natural truism. It's a truism that you can never take away. It's the small things that make a difference. Incrementalism, really, if you want to call it, gradualism. You can define it in any way you'd like to, but it's the small things that make a big difference. But and one of the main things I think Sister Ncalo also raised was the sustainability issue, which I just love to touch on too quickly. We're not here to really just start something, it will be completely gone. We're not here to start a fly-by-night society where it's just a group of guys coming to make promises and then leave. And just to make sure of our continuity, we've sent through an application to our Department of Social Welfare to recognize the society as a formal non-profit organization. Obviously, it's like saying, you know, as a newborn baby getting an ID document. You know, you need an ID document to be recognized. And one of the main efforts we're doing is to formalize the society for the sake of continuity. You know, we want you guys tomorrow to be standing here as the next secretary or chairperson of the society. So, which is really, I mean, and the registration is really just to get the society moving and formalize it. You know, everything works well once it's formal, not just in the formal grouping of students. And I think without going on too much, I mean, I really just like to thank our fellows, the sponsors who came through, particularly Petro SA. Petro SA has been a key sponsor, and especially the General Manager, Mr. Denmo Kani. I'd just like to ask you guys to just give them a big round of applause for their sponsorship. And everyone else, I think the PBM Army has been great as well. Our fellow engineer, members of the executive committee, Paul Mokwere is employed by the Federal Modular Reactor. So, I mean, there are big things happening, I think. And you see as well, like our other sponsor, Ernst & Young, they've also been helping us out in terms of guiding students, in terms of accountancy, and naturally the Department of Education for their efforts. And I think lastly, I'd just like to thank the students and parents, staff, teachers. I think the teachers at Tsogo are great people, wonderful people that you cannot really see when you're a student, but leave the school and you see how good these teachers are. You see, you guys have the best base. You know, you don't need to go to a St. Albans private school, or you don't need to go to St. John's private school. You know, you've got the best school here. Use the resources, use the little humble efforts that everyone is giving, and then together we can make this society a very, very powerful organization. And lastly, I think daily President our former President Mandela, his 88th birthday on Tuesday, and he had a saying which goes, a good heart and a good head are a formidable combination. And that's precisely what we're trying to bring back. A good head and a good heart. Together, we can form and strengthen the society and make it so strong that tomorrow we have future leaders. I mean, today we see what Tim Moody say, and Randy Kobe, and Ompiko Zetamani, all these people on TV. And they were sitting right where you are. Where you guys are today. So you guys can do it. That's precisely what we're saying. And that's precisely what we came here to start the society. We say, guys, give it on, give it power, go on. We're here to guide you, we're here to help in any way we can. And that's precisely what the society is. I think that's just a brief background. After the whole thing, we're planning to have one-on-ones with students, sit down with them and just chat to them and explain to them how they can do things and take it from there, I guess. But I think without going into too much, I think the NC is going to come and give me a bit of a clap here. Anyway, so I just want to say thank you to everyone, and yeah, I guess you'll enjoy, and hopefully you'll see our efforts as we go along. Thank you.